Core racists, what pivotal moment made you change your ways? Watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air made me hate them even more. I lived in a primarily white neighborhood, where there weren't a lot of black people. I was going to school and spending my days just like I was when I was 13, but one day, a boy called Joey came to our class. Joey was black. In fact, I think he was the only black person in our entire school. He was already a sore thumb sticking out, but he was really just an ordinary boy just like me, having similar interests like sports, comic books, and video games. But the 13-year-old me didn't understand that. In my eyes, Joey looked repulsive somehow. I thought he was unnatural. I obviously didn't hate him. It was just that I for some reason felt disgusted by him. He was black. It wasn't just me that felt this way. A lot of my classmates gossiped about him too, seemingly sharing my opinion. Thinking we should play a prank on him, we started to harass him almost every day. We would hide his school bag, give him funny names, and make noises behind him while we sat in class. We thought it was all fun and games, but in reality, this was just plain bullying and nothing else. But Joey took it all. He was never really riled up every time something like this happened. Neither did he call for anyone. He just silently endured until everyone stopped doing it as they got bored of it. I too stopped, but my repulsion never vanished. I simply started to avoid Joey, trying to think that he was not there. This was about the time Fresh Prince of Bel-Air started airing. I didn't like the show at first when it first aired, this being for the same reason as why I didn't like Joey, as I felt repulsed by the black actors. If anything, it enhanced my hatred towards people like Joey. But my mother really liked the show, and since we only had one TV and I was addicted to the TV, I had no other choice but to watch it with my mother until I too started to actually like the show as well. I ended up getting over my repulsion of the black actors, but not against black people in real life. A few weeks after I started watching with my mother, I noticed that the episodes were leaving subliminal messages about racism within the show. There was this one episode where Will talks with Carlton about their trip in the car, and Will starts to flip out about the police stopping the both of them. Due to Carlton's rich upbringing, he is oblivious as to what racial profiling or discrimination is. He had never experienced what Will dealt with while living in the city. I don't know why this scene stuck with me so much, or why as a child it had that much of an impact on me, but I thought it about for a week later and would stay up at night thinking about it while also thinking about all those other things I had done to Joey and how he must have felt and why I did those things when he never did anything to me. I pondered on these thoughts for a month until I couldn't take it anymore. I decided that, on my lunch break, I was going to talk to Joey. Our school had a lot more black people in it at that time, but Joey still was the only black person in our class. He was a loner too, as he never seemed to have attempted to talk to anyone, nor did anyone else look to have approached him. I found him sitting in the cafeteria by himself eating a radish sandwich. I knew that since I ate those too. They were my favorite. I didn't know how to approach him or how to talk to him. I felt incredibly awkward doing what I was about to do. I purposely made sure to do it on my lunch break, as I made sure nobody knew that I was going to talk to Joey. Eventually, I got over my awkwardness and came over intending to talk to him by sitting next to him. Joey immediately noticed me when I sat near him, but didn't say anything other than glance at me before returning back to his sandwich. The entire lunch break passed without us talking. The next day, I decided to do the same. I sat down, he noticed me, and we both ate our lunch. Nothing was said. This continued for 4 days. But finally, after the 5th day, I finally just wanted this to get over with, and when lunch break came around I again sat next to him with my own lunch and immediately spoke before he could start eating. I took a deep breath and said, "Sorry." "What?" "I am sorry." For what?" "I am sorry for doing the things I did to you." He paused. "Ah, okay." He started eating. I, not eating at all, still waited as I expected to hear something else, but I never did. He simply ate while I looked at him waiting for the words I expected to hear. He too noticed me staring at me expectantly and stopped eating before turning to me. "What?" he said. "So you forgive me?" No." I was dumbfounded and had no idea what to say next. Joey too didn't seem to want to talk anymore and simply finished his lunch while I did too. For the next week, I pretty much pondered about what to do next. Joey had refused my apology and I was clueless as to what to do. Because of that, I simply continued to have my lunch with Joey every day since I got used to it. We also started talking, not about the apology, but just talking about hobbies like comics and video games. My repulsion towards him also disappeared as I started to understand Joey as a person more than something else. Before I knew it, we became pretty tight friends. We would go over to each other's houses and play. My original friends also became more friendly with Joey once I started to invite and play with him more. This continued until our high school years and even until university, as both me and Joey attended the same university studying different fields. I studied biology, and he studied chemistry. We stayed friends our entire life. Joey had married recently and asked me to become his best man. I told this same story at his wedding. But after the partying, drinking, and celebration, Joey and I ended up on a balcony, watching over the party. There was something itching in the back of my mind. It was something that had been bothering me since Joey and I had first become friends. I took a deep breath and asked, "Joey, do you forgive me?" "For what?" "For the things I did to you." He paused. "No. I still do not forgive you." I could see the look on his face. He was looking out onto the sunset. "You are my best friend. I will never forgive you. I will hold this grudge until we both become rotten old men." I could see the smirk on his face. I laughed and gave him a web on his arm. I gave him a big hug. If you had told my 12-year-old self that I would befriend Joey, then I would laugh in your face. But here I am, and now, he is getting married. Joey is my best friend.